Welcome to another mailbag video, and I have a couple of stuff that I've been collecting for the last around a month, and some of them are actually already built into projects, so I'm going to cover that at the end of the video. But let's go through the other items that you can see on the desk at the moment. So, and I'm going to switch between this screen and also the Aliexpress listings. So the first one is going to be this power supply, well, power bank, and I don't know, I have something with power banks. So this is like the sort of like the second big recent power plant that I have. I think one of my previous mailbag, I showed you this Basis one. So this is a smaller power bank which I use for traveling because, well, it is a small one and it charges at 22 watts. So if I need to recharge my phone, let's say if I'm on a city break and we are just walking, then it can easily recharge a phone in like 20-30 minutes because of the sort of the not even the high capacity, but the 22 watt charging. So that's good. And I thought maybe I should have a bigger one. I mean, you can't have enough, and then bigger one is better. So I bought this one. And the reason I bought this one, first of all, I have seen this one in Quindor's channel, and he said that he's tested it, and it is, it is up to the spec that what they are claiming. And what they are claiming here, first of all, it has 25,000 milliamp hours battery, and it can charge at 130 watts. I mean, 130 watts, I never need 130 watts, but what it can do is it can charge at 65 watts. So this can be used to charge a laptop, which is good. And yeah, it was what is 55 at the moment, but how much I paid for that? Because that was on sale, so I paid 41 for that. Okay, 46 with shipping. So that was the I don't know whether that's cheap or not, but it was one of the sales, and it was sort of an impulse buy. I already used it a couple of times, and yeah, it's good. And let me show you how the whole thing looks like if I can find my mouse. Yeah, that's where it is. So it's a big chunky beast. It has two USB-Cs on the top and one USB-A, and it can do all sorts of power delivery. Actually, let me just switch back to the listing because I think I have, yeah, you can see all the different specs here, how much it can charge. And 130 watts basically because it can do 65 watts in both of the USB-C ports at the same time. And I think Quindor said that it does 130 watts for a couple of minutes, but then it throttles down because it heats up. So there is nothing other than the the specs. You can see, I think you can see the specs here as well if my camera can focus. It is heavy, it is chunky, but it's great. It does what it's supposed to do. It has a small screen, which I'm not really sure if I would be able to show you. Oh, I won't be able to record the screen because it's so dim. I mean, it is readable for the human eye. And also what I like about this, and that was one of the other reasons I wanted to have this, because the small Basis doesn't have a screen. It just has a couple of indicator light. No, it has a screen for percentage, but nothing else. But this has a screen. So at the moment, the phone is plugged in and it shows, oh, I can't get it to show you. So the phone is already sort of like 89%. So it doesn't go all the way up to 20 volts, but it says that it's drawing 9.4 volts at 1.3 amps, and with this rate, this battery should last for another 6.5 hours. And it does that whenever you are charging something, and it also does that whenever you are charging it. So it's going to tell you how long it will take to fully charge the power supply, the power bank, which I think it's a good feature. It's a good additional feature that's worth to have the extra screen real estate. So this is definitely great. And in the box, when you buy this, you also get a USB-C to USB-C cable, which is rated for 65 watts, which I think the maximum what it can deliver. No, it can do 100 watts on a single USB-C output if it's only one USB-C is connected. I mean, if the other one doesn't draw more than 30 watts. So it's great, it's big, but if you are traveling in a car and you need, power supply, if you don't mind, holding the extra battery, then it's definitely going to last. And I think probably I'm going to use this for my laptop as well, because my newer laptop is not that great in battery power, but I can always supplement it with this chunky beast. So that's the first item. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell in the beginning, but I managed to figure out how the Aliexpress affiliate thing works. So all the links are now in affiliate links. So if you use any of them to make purchases, then I would probably get some back. I never used it before, so we'll see what happens. So that was the first item. Sorry, the next one is I have a few multimeters from Aneng. And the last one that I purchased is this model, which 628. And it has a big screen, and I wouldn't recommend buying this, but only mainly two reasons. First of all, it has buttons which are really difficult, well, really hard to push through the case. And also it doesn't have the selector. So it sort of like decides that, you know, when you plug in the probes that, you know, is it going to measure voltage? Is it going to measure continuity? Is it going to measure resistance? And it works great, but sometimes, I mean, I'd rather just use the dial to select the mode that I want to use, and also it makes that a little bit slower. So like I can use it for continuity, it works fine, but like I connect to something and it realized that there is no voltage, so I probably measure you know, resistance, but the resistance is very low, so it's continuity and it starts beeping. But the whole thing takes about like a second or so, which is not a, you know, it's not bad. But then these, you know, sort of proper meters, it takes like, it's almost instant. As soon as you touch the probes, it beeps and you can move on. And I have a very similar model, and I wanted to buy this just because it has Bluetooth, and I think maybe I can build an ESP32, and you know, if I want to show some measurement instead of showing the screen on this, maybe I can pull the measurement via Bluetooth and show it on the screen in the recording. Maybe I will do it, maybe I will not, and this is just end up being a regular multimeter. I'm not a really, you know, I don't know too much about electricity. I mean, as in like, you know, the gritty-nitty details. So I don't know whether 6,000 counts and, you know, these ratings are good. I think probably they are, you know, average for these sort of like cheapo meters. The other one, which doesn't have Bluetooth, I think it probably has the same spec. It was much cheaper. This one is a little bit more expensive, but I think the stats are sort of like average, which is good enough for my sort of the hobby use. So I have no issues with that. And the whole thing looks like this. It came in this pouch. I haven't really used this yet. Yeah, you have the QR code for the app, and you have the device. It is the same size as my previous meter. It is a slightly bit bigger. I already put batteries in. And you still have an auto mode. So this does the whole auto thing, just like my other multimeter does. But like, you know, I go here, I want to measure resistance, and I pick this, sorry, no. And then you, yeah, use the mode button, and I think now you are in continuity mode. So again, it's really easy to just snap into a mode that you need. Oh, I want voltage. Okay, I'm going to select voltage. So this is DC. I can quickly switch to AC. So it works almost like my previous multimeter, which I love, and I learned how to use it. So it should be easy for me to get used to this one. And I needed a second multimeter anyway. So, and hopefully I will find the Bluetooth feature useful as well. I mean, other than that, it's a sturdy construction, a hard case, no issues with that. And you get, this looks like a thermocouple. There are a couple of different leads. So this is the regular lead. You can remove this tip, and so this is the right angle connector that goes onto here. It is silicone, probably not the highest grade silicone, but still it's okay. And you can have a second lead, which there are some crocodile clips or these probes as well. So I have a second lead as well. So I think standard issue when it comes to accessories, but yeah, good. It's going to be useful, and at some point I might just use the Bluetooth functionality as well. And if I get that working, I'm going to make a video on that. And this is AN9002. And how much I paid for that, because at the moment it's 30 bucks screen, and I paid 32. Okay. Oh, sorry, 29. So it's pretty much the same price, but then the shipping was 32. Okay. Next thing is USB-C extension cable. I won't be able to show you this because I'm already using it. It's right here. So I have a USB-C port extender, and it has a short lead, something like that. So it was always dangling here with all the extra cable, and it was extremely messy in my desk. Actually, I think I can bring you out a little bit. Yeah. So everything was here and a lot of cables, and it was messy, and it was like putting a strain on the laptop. So I wanted to have this extension cable, and it's basically an extension cable. But the important thing about this extension cable, oh, we are fighting with the sun, is that it can do all the power delivery. So as it says, well, it doesn't really say anything here, but I think somewhere it says, oh, by the way, you have two variants. So you have 0.5 meter and 1 meter. Oh no, so you have black and gray, and 0.5 meter and 1 meter. So I bought a 1 meter variant, and it can do 100 watts and 10 gigabits of transfer. And it works because my second screen is connected to the hub. I have this, sorry, one camera. This camera is, I think that's, no, actually, I have this camera which is looking at me. So that's an HD webcam. So that's connected to the hub. And I have the second camera, which is this one. So that's a 4K camera, although it's only recording in full HD. And both of them are connected to the hub, plus the screen, plus power, and recording works. I have no issues with that. So it can definitely deliver, and yeah, I can recommend that. So that's a good product, USB-C cable. And it was, yeah, okay, it's not cheap, but I guess if you want a good quality, then you have to spend an extra bucks. Next product is something that I've already reviewed back in Mailbox 5 or 6, and I bought a second one because my bike didn't have a camera, didn't have a bike computer. Well, I had one which I purchased locally, which has the Bluetooth connection to the sensor, but it's a big bike and it's just too far away. So I wanted something which is wired. So this one, well, I think you have a variant here which is Bluetooth, but I paid for the basic one, which is green backlight and wired, and doesn't have, no, maybe I bought the white one. And it just has a wired sensor, and it works great. And the reason I like it, because it has a big screen for the speed, and yeah, it's a basic camera. It's a basic bike computer. It works. I'm already using it on my bike, and I trust it. I like it, so I can definitely recommend one. So this is how it looks like. Obviously, this is a sticker on it, and the reason I bought a second one, because I want to have this computer on my the ride-on train. And when you configure it, and when you configure the wheel size, you can basically go all the way down to like 10 centimeters diameter. So it is definitely usable for very small wheels, which obviously, model train or ride-on train wheels are going to be, because the diameter is only 15 centimeters, so the circumference is 45 centimeters, something like that. So it's almost as small as a scooter, electric scooter wheel, and this can measure that. So if you need, speed measurement for a very small bike, then this is definitely useful. So that's why I wanted to mention this a second time. Good. Moving on. Okay, the next one is going to be some DIY components for my next project, which I'm not really sure when it's coming. I think I already talked about it when I was talking about so this is like a controller receiver pair for my ride-on train, for which I've done a Bluetooth application. And I need some additional ports to drive inputs and outputs. So I have one which is this 4-channel ADC module. because the ESP8266 has a 12-bit ADC and this one is 16 bits. Okay, little bit of distraction. So I bought this for the extra few bits resolution, so I can measure current much more precisely. And the other one is this one, which is again I2C output, so expander modules. And that's how the I/O looks like. So the ADC looks like. No, this is the expander module. So you can see P1 to P0 to P17. So this is 16-bit output that you can control via I2C. And this is the ADC, which I haven't even opened, but that's basically, 4-channel analog input at 16-bit resolution. Very cheap, very affordable, but they are great kits. So, okay. I think this sunlight is really fighting me. Okay, I lower the blinds. It should be a little bit better. Okay, so these are the two products. They are great. I still have to use them. The project is not finished yet. The next one is these small SMD microswitches or toggle switches, which I used for my PCB project. So you're going to see that, or already seen the PCB video. And yeah, nothing special. It just SMD switches, and this has side tabs, so you can have you can solder the case to the PCB, so probably it gives extra strength. So you can see the 3 terminals on the top and then 2 terminals on each side, sort of like the tabs of the metal case. So that's good. That should be good enough for these PCBs. By the way, I think, do I still have them somewhere here? So I'm talking about these PCB badges, but I made a separate video on that. So you can see the small switch there. Yeah, that's it. Okay, that's good. Moving on. Next one is, oh, I love these rotary switches, and I purchased a few of them for my ride-on train, and I needed a few more, and I also needed a few more for the Cyberdeck build. And these come in different variants. The ones which has the built-in LED at 12 to 24 volts or mains voltage, and you have like 2 positions or 3 positions. So I bought a few of them, actually 2 different variants. So they come with this harness as well. So it is very easy to replace them, although it takes some extra space. So you have to account for that in the case or wherever you are going to mount it. And it's very simple. So it's like a sort of like, what is it, 45-degree rotation, and then the light is illuminated. Sorry, this arrow and the dot is illuminated. And this is the version which runs on 220 volts, I guess 220, 240. And that's the one where the, oh, this one is 220 as well. Okay, but I have a few of these which are run on 12 to 24 volts. I think really nice. All this is, well, the sleeve is metal, the switch body is plastic, but I think it looks adorable. And you can choose the color. You can choose between different colors. So that's not that cheap. Obviously, you can buy, cheaper switches. So it's about $5 for a switch, and then $220 for the harness. Well, they do free shipping, but yeah, they are really nice. Next one is, yeah, I was just looking for some random string lights, and oops, that's what I got here. This is supposed to be for my holiday home. Okay, let me change the view here. Oops. Okay, too much reflection for the camera. It terminates in a European lead, and then on the other side it's a plug. So you can daisy chain them, and they are supposed to be outdoor rated, although this plug is really basic. So probably I'm going to buy these waterproof enclosures, although it's going to be underneath a terrace, so it should not receive direct, it should not receive direct rain, but still, you never know. And yeah, I'm just trying to pull out enough wire so I can plug it in for you. Okay, obviously it is not flickering to the naked eye, but it's flickering for the camera. And yeah, very decent light. The individual LEDs are not really strong, but that was the main purpose. And they come in, well, that's the only thing which I haven't really paid attention, that this is probably like some special lamp. I don't think it is E14, maybe it's E14, because well, it needs to be this shape in order for this to seal. So I don't think it's well, it doesn't even seal, so it's not going to be easy to find replacements for this. And yeah, that's not really waterproof, so I'm planning to use this in our summer house in the terrace. So it's not going to receive direct you know, rain, only probably condensation as well. So I think it's going to be good enough, but probably it's not the best waterproof lamp after all. Although the listing says, you know, outdoor Christmas light, decorative lights, and I think somewhere in the listing it says I thought it says the outdoor rating. 220, 120, and then you can get different lengths, and based on the length you can get a different number of bulbs. And as I said, if you buy more than one, then you can just daisy chain them together, so you can see the different variants. They do provide, oh, so it's E12 base. They do provide an extra bulb in the kit, and yeah, 1 watt each, and they do use it outdoors. So waterproof, IP45. Okay, IP45 claimed. Good, moving on. The next couple of items are going to be for my Cyberdeck. So I needed to get an audio adapter, an audio cable, so I can route out the headphone jack from the laptop, well, not the laptop, from the micro PC, which is going to be inside. So I bought this TRRS 4.5, very short extension, nothing special. Next one is going to be this extension cable. Well, actually, before I go to that, let me just talk about these panel mount jacks that I also got for this case. So I can get, you know, USB easily plugged in from the side. And eventually I decided to purchase this variant, which is basically a USB plug on both sides, and it has a cap. So yeah, I needed these. I bought 3 of these. They are blue, which means that they are USB 3 compatible, but I mean, I guess this is just a piece of cable. There's nothing special on that. Maybe they just use a thicker cable to deliver USB 3 power. And I have also purchased a very similar one, which is network. So again, 2 network jacks on each side, and you can just panel mount it. It's, you know, fairly cheap. So I thought even if I buy this one with an extra cable, it would be probably a little bit more easier to install. It's a little bit going to be more versatile, because I found very similar ones which comes in with a cable and then a connector at the end. Yeah, I decided to use these instead. And for the cables, I purchased this Vention USB 3 cable. So it's they sell these very short ones. So I think 25 millimeter, sorry, 25, no, actually 0.5, yeah, because the USB 3 version was out from the very short one. So 0.5 meter, very nice quality. I quite like how these looks like. I think this is again a very decent brand for cables and stuff. So I have HDMI cable from them as well, with a ribbon cable. So flat cable, looks nice. And then finally the last one that I also bought from Vention, I thought maybe I can just club the shipping and everything, is a USB a USB Bluetooth dongle, because I want to use the Bluetooth keyboard that I reviewed previously, and so that's going to be the keyboard for the Cyberdeck. And the micro PC didn't have Bluetooth built in. There's no Wi-Fi, no Bluetooth, so I needed to buy the Bluetooth dongle, and I thought they should do a decent one. And of course it works. I just plugged it in, I linked the keyboard, and it works. So there's nothing special. Maybe I could have shopped around for something cheaper, but you know, $5 for a USB thing, it's fine. It's 5.0, which I probably never going to use, and it supports aptX. That's some sort of audio standard as well. But again, I'm only going to use it for a Bluetooth keyboard. Okay, so let me quickly cover the ones that I already built into this project. So these are the panel mount connectors, one for Cat6 or well, network, that's USB, and both of them has this cap which you can easily screw on. It's simple, it's yeah, it's a very fine thread, so you have to make sure that you put it on right, but I quite like it. It's very simple. As I said, there is a plug on the outside obviously, and on the inside it's just another plug. So USB and network. Yeah, so you can just buy a patch cable and connect it. So it's very easy to get it customized. And that's the TRRS headphone and mic jack, which just plugs in. And that connector there is a 90-degree connector. It's just under the network cable, so it fits under this small area. That's the Bluetooth-C dongle down there. And I think these are pretty much the... Oh, of course, then these are the 0.5 meter USB 3 cables. So these are from a company called Vention, and actually this flat ribbon HDMI cable or flat HDMI cable is also from Vention, and that plugs in here, and I thought it would be easier to close the lid if this is a flat cable. But on the other hand, it's a little bit difficult to get this sneak around here in sort of this 90-degree direction, but I made it work, so it is working. So anyway, that's the pieces for the new Cyberdeck. And that's pretty much the end of my orders that I wanted to review now. So you can see the bulb was $22, the switches were $127 for 50. That was the audio cable, that was the thingies and the other thingies. So I bought quite a few of them. So 3 USB and 1 network, so the whole thing came $23.79 at the end with shipping. The ADC was a little bit more expensive, but again, I bought 5 of them. The switches were more expensive, but as I said, I like the quality, so I'm happy to spend that much money on these occasionally. And yeah, USB cable, cycle computer, and the rest is something that I already covered in previous videos. Okay, I think that's going to be all for today. Thanks for watching, and hopefully see you next video.